Hi everyone, Paul here from Super Deluxe Edition. Today I'm going to do something a bit different, which is do a box set roundup. Box sets and reissues that have just come out, about to come out, came out in the past few weeks, that kind of thing. Obviously SDE is well known for its unboxing videos where we look down on something in a lot of detail. Still going to do that, but there's so many releases that come through our doors that you can't really keep up. So I thought it'd be a good idea maybe to do this once a month, just go through some random releases and take a quick look at them. Most of the things I'm about to go through have been mentioned on SDE already, whether it's a news story, interview, review, that kind of thing. So if you want to find out any more information, do a search on superdeluxeedition.com. If you're new to this channel, that's the website that I edit and founded about 13 years ago. Holding the music in your hands is really what the website's all about. Physical product, CDs, box sets, vinyl, that kind of thing. You can find it at superdeluxeedition.com or sde.co.uk, which will also take you to the same place. So anyway, so let's get on. I've got a pile of releases here. Let's take a look through them. Sort of reasonably briefly, but just sort of go through to give you a feel for what's happening. I should mention some of the things here I've paid for and bought. Other things, labels might have sent me copies. It's not going to make any difference to my opinion or what I say about these box sets. I'm always honest, independent and fair when it comes to casting opinions on new releases. Okay, let's get going and talk about this. Tanita Tikaram box set. I think a lot of people liked Ancient Heart back in '88, I think it was when that came out. This is a 5 CD box set, so it's her first 5 albums released on Warner's, expanded with bonus tracks. I'm not sure if they've been remastered. I don't think there's any word of remastering. But this is from Cherry Red. It's the usual sort of clamshell box. Pretty good value. The bonus tracks are all tracks that came out on CD singles or 12 inches at the time. So nothing outstanding, but it's still nice to have. The best thing about this box set is that Tanita's obviously been involved because she's done a track by track annotation in the booklet. So there's quite a nice little booklet here where she sort of wittily goes through and tells you about all the songs and what was going on at the time. Yeah, that's well worth having for that reason. Slightly disappointed with the artwork on these. Ancient Heart in particular doesn't look particularly good. These look like they're scans without any of the original design elements being used to make them look good. So the photo on Ancient Heart's quite dark. Some of the colours are a bit off, but for the price point, you might think that's acceptable. I don't know. The 5 albums in question, in case you're wondering, are Ancient Heart, which was '88, like I said, Sweet Keeper, which was the follow-up in 1990, Everybody's Angel from 1991, 11 Kinds of Loneliness, which was released in '92, and then Lovers in the City, '95. So 5 records there. She moved labels after that. It's actually the WEA and East West albums. So, but effectively it was Warner's. So that came out last week. So that's Tanita Tikaram box set. I have to say, actually, I do like the having criticised a little bit the artwork inside. I do actually like the box, the cover to the box. I think they've done quite a nice job. There's some little details here which are quite nice, which is the thumbnails of the albums at the side. I can't remember how much this is. It's probably like £30, something like that. So I think, you know, reasonable value for what you're getting. So I'm just going to go through these randomly. This is Alphaville, their 1984 album, Forever Young. It's the one that's got Big in Japan on it, which is the song everyone knows, classic kind of 1984 synth pop hit. Now, this album, it did come out as a box set a few years ago, but they've done a Dolby Atmos mix, or a Dolby Atmos mix was created a few years ago. And they're releasing it on Blu-ray audio. As I say, it actually comes out today, which is Friday. I'm filming this on Friday the 5th. We have been selling these in the SD shop. We've just run out actually, so I'm going to try and get some more. But it's Blu-ray audio. It's got a Dolby Atmos mix and it's got a 48/24 stereo mix. So it's not packed with content. Still nice to have. Still great to see record companies willing to put out Dolby Atmos product on Blu-ray audio. So it comes in the blue Blu-ray case, which I don't particularly like. I never release the SDE ones in these cases because it just looks a bit kind of Blu-ray video, doesn't it, for my liking. But nevertheless, Alphaville, Forever Young, out on Blu-ray today. Another one which I think this came out last Friday actually, which was the same day as Tanita Tikaram. Now, this is Demon Music's celebration of Rusty Egan and his Blitzed club in the early 80s. Very sort of influential, fashionable sort of hangout. Rusty, along with Steve Strange, who was sort of front of house. They're the two characters that were known for the Blitzed club. Rusty was the sort of DJ, so he was the one who was into the music. We've just actually published a really good interview with Rusty on SDE, so head to the website and have a look at that. So this is a 4 CD set, and apart from the odd licensing issue where you can't license David Bowie, for instance, so there's no way you could put on anything from Scary Monsters, for example. But you know, apart from a few omissions, it's a really good compilation. There's 4 CDs, some great stuff on here, including a 1980 dance mix of Fade to Grey, which Rusty himself in the interview says that the label wouldn't let them release at the time. So this is a previously unreleased, very rare version of Fade to Grey. So, but I mean, apart from that, there's loads of great stuff on here. Human League, Magazine, Fad Gadget, Pretenders, Iggy Pop, The Normal with Warm Leatherette, Ultravox, Kraftwerk, Grace Jones, The Cure. I mean, it's a Telex with Moscow Disco. There's loads of stuff on here. Packaging's quite interesting. So it's got this sort of slip case here. And then there's a booklet. The booklet's quite good. And then this folds out into a kind of, it's a bit like Demon's 7-inch packaging, except this is the signed version. So there's a signed print. And it sort of folds out like that. Fantastic music, fantastic era, real nostalgia trip actually listening to this and you know, taking you back to the early 80s. Here's One Hand Clapping, Paul McCartney. You might have read about this on the website. This is actually the deluxe vinyl version. I bought this from his website, which comes with a 7-inch single. There is a 2 CD set lying around here somewhere, which I couldn't find. For those of you who aren't aware of what this is, after all the success with Band on the Run and Live and Let Die in 73, 74, Paul had a new drummer, Jeff Britton, and typical Paul McCartney fashion, decided, you know, we need a project, let's do something. So it was partly rehearsing for future tours and partly to maybe have some kind of TV documentary or something, but they filmed and recorded rehearsals where the band played basically a sort of Wings best of up to that point in time. So you had kind of Sea Moon, Live and Let Die, the Band on the Run tracks, My Love, you know, that kind of stuff. And he also played a few Beatles songs as well. Some of this came out on the various McCartney deluxe editions a decade ago, but now it gets its own release here. One Hand Clapping. All this artwork was actually designed at the time, which is quite interesting. This is a 2 LP set. Controversially, this is the deluxe edition, which comes with a 7-inch single with some extra tracks which you can't get anywhere else. They never put them out on CD, so that was quite annoying. But you get 2 black vinyl records, very nicely designed in these sort of die-cut sleeves. It's interesting actually, Paul McCartney has reverted to the old 70s style MPL logo, which is, I don't think they've ever done that before. The new MPL logo, which has been around for ages, is the juggler, but they've got the old one on here. So it's sort of a nod to the fact that this goes back to the 70s. It's basically the 70s version of the MPL logo. You get this little insert here. Goes through the Wings members one by one: McCartney, Denny Laine, Jeff Britton, who was the drummer, Linda McCartney, and Jimmy McCulloch. So yeah, there's 2 records like that. Inside, this is the 7-inch vinyl record. So this is McCartney on his own in the sort of back garden of Abbey Road or somewhere, playing Blackpool, which nearly ended up being the B-side to The Man, the second Michael Jackson collaboration that was on Pipes of Peace. But that single got withdrawn, and I don't know whether it's a different version or the same version or what. But anyway, that's the 7-inch single, done in old sort of EMI tape box style. So there's the 7-inch single there, sort of handwritten track listing. David Quantick wrote a really good review of this this reissue or issue or whatever you want to call it, which you can read on the SDE website. Very entertaining. It's got the green inside here. So as usual with McCartney, I mean, it's never cheap, but quite a lot of attention to detail. It's just a pity those extra tracks from the 7-inch they're not on CD, so that's quite annoying. Okay, what should we do next? This is Stop Making Sense. Now this is the deluxe collector's edition, I think they called it. A24 in America put out this special deluxe edition. This is the 4K collector's edition of Stop Making Sense. Really like the packaging. It's got this kind of linen bound feel. So that's kind of the front with this little photo here. That's the back. This is quite a solid kind of board slipcase. And then inside, there's the disc. So this is a 4K presentation. There's loads of extras on there. And then you get this really quite nice booklet. Sort of very sort of high quality. It's got this sort of weird binding here at the side. Really nice job with this. Unfortunately, they're sold out. We were selling these on the SDE shop. We couldn't get enough of these, so we're hoping we might get some more from America or whatever. But yeah, they're all sold out at the moment. So sorry about that. But that's Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. Actually, I'll just quickly tell you. There's what you get on here. Well, there's a Dolby Atmos mix of Stop Making Sense. There's a newly restored and remastered edition of the film. But there's lots of special features. So there's you get Jonathan Demme's extended cut from 1985, which says it's from a Laserdisc transfer. Bonus songs, you get a Jonathan Demme commentary from the archives. There's loads of good stuff. So anyway, that's Stop Making Sense. That came out a few weeks ago. Another clamshell box. This came out, I think this came out at the end of May actually. I got sent this, but this is Gina G. I think this is Cherry Red again. Ooh Ah, Just a Little Bit was obviously a big, successful #1 record. It turns out she had like 4 top 20 hits at the time. Who would have thought it? This is the kind of famous stroke infamous picture of her covered in chocolate. But basically this is a 2 CD and a DVD set, so you just get loads and loads of remixes of the singles, and then you get a DVD that has the videos, and it also has the Eurovision Song Contest performance of Ooh Ah, Just a Little Bit from 1996. So there you go, pop fans, Gina G, nice little clamshell box. Slightly different from Gina G. I will probably do a big unboxing of this, but this is the David Bowie Rock and Roll Star box set, done in very flashy mirrorboard presentation, which wasn't mentioned at all in any of the press releases or anything like that. So I was quite surprised when I saw this. It looks really good. Everything's the same as the previous box sets that have come out, like the Hunky Dory one, Divine Symmetry. In terms of the size and dimension, I mean, the Man Who Sold the World one was different because that was smaller, but this is consistent with the other big ones that have come out. You get 2 books as well. This is like a student notebook. This is very much in the style of McCartney's deluxe sets. So you get a kind of reproduction of Bowie's doodles and stuff. And then the rest of the content is just a big book. So first 2 CDs there in the inside. All the discs are in their own little inner sleeves. So that's good. And then you get the usual book, which is all the kind of stuff you'd expect. And then at the back, 4 more discs. So it's 5 CDs and a DVD, I think, is that right? Yeah, 5 CDs and 5 CDs, not in a DVD. It's 5 CDs and a Blu-ray. Just remember the Blu-ray doesn't have the Dolby Atmos mix of Ziggy Stardust. That's coming out separately. in September. We're taking pre-orders on the SDE shop for that. The Blu-ray on here has the old 5.1 mix, and it has I think it has a stereo mix of the normal album, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't have the new Atmos mix, which I know everyone was a bit disappointed in. That's David Bowie. Now, I really like this. This is coming out on the 26th of July, I think. Pete Townshend, live in concert. This is the solo years of Pete Townshend. He hardly ever toured Pete Townshend, his solo stuff. He did kind of random one-off gigs. I think in 1993 he did 14 dates in America for his Psycho Derelict album. But that was kind of the exception, really. On his website, kind of about 20 years ago, he released limited edition versions of these records, but they're all back now in a box together. What's good about this is the presentation. So you can see it's a sort of Japanese style drawer, inner box, outer box. And then once you get to the discs themselves, every album's like a gatefold presentation, and they have inner sleeves. So it's really nicely done, I think. I've only listened to the Brixton Academy gig from '85, but that's excellent, really, really good. There's a great booklet actually with sleeve notes by Matt Kent and a really good introduction by Pete Townshend where he goes into his thoughts about his solo career in the usual sort of honest way. I actually interviewed Pete recently, that's going to be up on the website quite soon. But this is called Live in Concert 85 to 2001, and it's Pete Townshend's Solo Years live box set. Now then, I think some of you will be excited to see this. This is the Synchronicity Police box set. Amazingly, after all this time, the Police have finally decided to open their archives. So this is a 6 CD large format box set. It's a nice bit of spot varnishing on the front cover, which you should be able to see there. This is tremendous. I think this is going to be my favourite box set of the year. Not really because of the presentation, it's just because the content is so good. We're so used to albums coming out as deluxe editions or expanded CDs, then 2 CD deluxe editions, then super deluxe editions. And it does sometimes wear thin when the same content's coming out all the time. But with the Police, it's never happened. We've had 40 years and the archives have remained firmly closed. So that's what makes this box set so special, really. The amount of unreleased material is phenomenal, and the quality of it is also phenomenal. Sting's demos are amazing. There's demos of virtually every track on the album, outtakes, alternate versions, I mean, you name it. I think there's like 70 odd tracks on this. So it's very, very impressive. Just to show you the format, it's basically a big book. So you get the 3 discs there in the inside cover, 3 discs in the outside cover, and then usual book in the middle. There is this extra kind of wallet thing, just gives you some prints like that. Because they're big, you could frame these, they'd look quite nice. A little bit superfluous maybe. Yeah, I'd highly recommend this. Just trying to give you a sense of what's on here. Yeah, I mean, there's like I said, there's demos of virtually the whole record. Demo of Synchronicity, demo of Oh My God, demo of Synchronicity 2, demo of Every Breath You Take, demo of King of Pain, demo of Wrapped Around Your Finger, demo of Tea in the Sahara, an interesting demo of Murder by Numbers, which sounds nothing like the finished song. And yeah, I mean, there's loads of alternate versions. Oh My God, there's some really interesting alternate versions where the early versions sound like something like off of Dream of the Blue Turtles, before they sort of pared it down for the album. There's loads of B-sides, backing tracks. I mean, it's kind of, it's amazing, this, trust me. You're gonna love it. I mean, it's a bit expensive maybe. It's like, I think it's 95 quid, 100 quid. So it is pricey, but trust me, you're not gonna be disappointed with this box set. Again, we don't actually sell that many big CD boxes on the SDE shop, but this is available if you want to pre-order it from SDE. Last but not least, this is a sneaky preview. This doesn't come out until the end of August, but this is the Alan Parsons Project Pyramid. This is one of those multi-format boxes that people don't necessarily like that much because it's got 2 vinyl records, 4 CDs, and then it's got a Blu-ray audio with an Atmos mix, etc. Now, Cooking Vinyl that have put this out have already said that they will do a standalone Blu-ray at a later date, so it's worth bearing that in mind. But the format for this box is you get this little wallet with kind of reproduction press release there. Then you get the double vinyl record of the album. And then a bit like Bowie, a bit like the Police, the book is the main thing there. So you can see the 4 CDs there. Then you get the book in the middle. It's the usual sort of stuff, really. And then that's the Blu-ray at the back. So the Blu-ray gives you a 5.1 mix, a Dolby Atmos mix. Alan Parsons has done it, so should sound good. So you have to wait a little bit for this because it doesn't come out until the end of August, so it's about 8 weeks away, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed this new format, this kind of skimming over some recent releases. If you have, we'll try and do some more, maybe beginning of every month, go through what's in the sort of SDE inbox, if you like. I'd love to hear some of your comments about all these various box sets, so please leave a comment. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Keep holding the music in your hands, and I'll see you again next time.